T minus 60 seconds. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Foot Viking Podcasts, where we get to drink a beer and learn something new. This is really cool for everybody who is watching at home, and for anybody who's listening. If you can't see this is very much outside of my comfort zone. We are trying something brand new today. We are actually doing a live podcast in front of a live audience at a venue called Decades Bar and Grill in Anaheim. This is super cool. I'm really trying some new stuff here. So before we jump into everything, I just wanted to let you guys know that for all the past podcasts and stuff, you can always go to the 5footviking.com, and it's a landing page basically where you can click on the Facebook and the YouTube and the Instagram and the Twitter and all the good stuff where you can find everything 5 Foot Viking. You can listen to past podcasts. You can click on new links for right now and see other videos. And also, you can check out in the description above and below. There are links to all the gear that I'm using. There's a lot of gear, and I get asked every week as far as what kind of microphones I'm using and headphone amplifiers and interfaces and stuff. So there's all kinds of good links down in there that you can jump into. But today is all about tacos because it is Taco Tuesday, and we are hanging out with all three owners of Taco ZK. Joe, Bryant, and Fabian, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having us, man.
Man, seriously, I want to get your microphone levels, make sure we're good.
Oh, we're good. Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, yeah. You guys are fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, man. We appreciate it, brother.
This is super cool. I know that there's a lot of good stuff that's going on with your company right now, and and we're definitely going to jump into that a little bit later. But before we jump into to that, we have to go into my favorite segment, which is the beer drinking segment. I want some beer. I think I'll have some beer. I fucking love this beer. I'm going to drink this beer, bitches. That is my broke ass intro to the beer section. So today's beer of the week, we are drinking, well, at least I am drinking, a New Belgium VooDoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA, which is 7.5%. I'm not sure if you guys are drinking anything right now. Or
we didn't get a chance to get anything.
You guys didn't get anything?
I'd love to.
Okay. Would you like one of these? One of the beers of the week?
Why not?
Yeah, man.
In a sippy cup for
in a sippy cup. I think we might be able to
Take
make
it in
that
a
happen.
sippy cup.
Hey, Randy.
We yell at somebody and get.
I don't know.
What?
Hey, Randy. I think we're gonna get a hold of Randy right now. Hey, Randy. Can you hear me? Well, we'll get.
That's
on
not
that.
good. We can
Yeah,
wait.
We'll get on that right now. But anyway, so that is the beer that I'm drinking. Actually, I think I linked down in the description below to the website where you can take a look at it. It's actually pretty smooth for an IPA. Some of the IPAs have like that
too much punch.
Yeah, that bite to it.
Too
a little
hop-
bit too much.
Fabian's a huge IPA drinker.
Really?
I am, yeah. The hazy IPAs kind of offer a little bit of a tropical thing.
Yeah.
Don't get
Not
carried
so
away now.
much.
Let's not get carried away.
Flavor profile. And
So the beer segment is done. Let's do this. I wanted to jump into, before we talk about the actual company, I kind of wanted to talk about this is a segment that I like to call Backstage with the guests. So Backstage with Tacos UK. And, I wanted to start with Fabian because we don't know each other that well. We just met recently. So I kind of wanted to get an idea of, because all three of you guys are working musicians and then starting this business together, I kind of wanted to know, where did you grow up and what kind of music what influenced you, and did you go to college, and what bands did you play with? Give us a little bit of background on Fabian.
Definitely. Yeah, so I grew up here in Los Angeles, California, I guess more specifically Downey.
Okay.
I was my dad plays and all of his family play music, so growing up, when I was a little kid, there was always drum set, piano, bass, guitar, everything always set up, in the back. They're always having rehearsals, and they're always, my dad is always playing in bands. So I was always around music when I was born. But yeah, I guess I kind of started playing drums when I was like 2 or 3. And then just, I knew that I always wanted to do music from that point on.
Wait, you played drums when you were 2?
Yeah.
Are you serious? And
Yeah,
it wasn't like pots and pans.
There's actually a video of me playing at 3 years old, and I'm like doing a norteño,
Oh my God.
like fills and everything. Yeah.
Okay, not me, bro. Like I started like 20 years after you started, man. Like that's crazy.
Nice.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old were you when you hit your first band?
I guess 14.
Okay.
Yeah. I played with a friend of mine. His grandfather had a band, and they invited me to go check out the rehearsal, but it was to go see it and not to go play. And I brought my saxophone and everything, and they're like, "Oh, okay, come on, little guy." And then they were like, "Oh, wow, he can kind of play, so we'll just let him do his thing." But from that, I met another person who introduced me to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Not too shortly after that band. But yeah, I did go to college. I got a jazz studies degree, from Cal State Northridge.
Okay.
And then after that, I've just been touring, different bands, playing all over the place, and doing studio session work and trying to produce and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Well, that's awesome. The fact that you started off when you were 2, I'm definitely going to remember that. I got a late start in my career, I guess. But let's move on. I wanted to move to Bryant. Now, Bryant, we go back, and it's so funny because I just found a picture of me and you backstage, Foundation Room in
House of Blues
Hollywood.
Man,
yes,
that was a long time ago.
We were both children, bro.
Early 20s.
Right? I was all skinny, and you
So
were all
was I.
skinny.
We were all skinny.
It was pre-tacos.
Taco.
And
PT.
but man, we go back a long ways, man. So
Long time.
and I've always looked up to you as a musician. You've definitely been an inspiration throughout all these years, and just how talented you are with bass, but not only just with bass, but with production and recording, and just your ear. You just have such a good ear for certain songs and knowing what to put where. It's just very tasteful. But let's back up just a little bit. Like, when did you pick up music, and when did you start moving forward with that? And give us a little background story.
Well, music started for me. I grew up playing in church, as a lot of musicians do. I started in church. I was the piano player for my church at the age of 8 years old. We didn't have a piano player, and I became the piano player. And then from there, it's like they needed a bass player. And then I started playing the bass out of just necessity for my church. And it grew from there. I fell in love with music, at that age. And then I just kept going. And it wasn't until the age of maybe 14, 15 where I decided, okay, I'm going to be a bass player, because I really enjoyed it. Once I figured out what the purpose of the bass was, then I was just like, I want to be a bass player.
And what was your first bass? I'm curious.
It was an Aria Pro 2. 2
An Aria Pro
neck
2.
through. Is the weight like it was like a dining table. It was that heavy. It was like Jesus Christ. It was crazy. 4-string Aria Pro, and I still have it. It's in my studio.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it sounds. I still use it. It sounds amazing. But yeah, my music. It all started in church, and then from there, it developed. By the age of like probably 14, I started gigging around town, and then that led to touring and producing and directing artists.
But when we met, you were, like I said, we were children. It was probably about 20 years ago.
Yes,
close to that.
For sure.
It was. I know it was mostly in Whittier. I think at the time you were playing with a band called DW3. Shout out to Billy, Eric, and Damon. Love you guys.
My brothers.
Miss you guys, brothers. And you guys were doing, if I'm not mistaken, you guys were doing Wednesdays at
the Firehouse Grill. God,
and we were
it's
doing
probably
Thursdays.
my favorite gig
That
ever.
was so much fun.
It was like the best gig ever to this day.
Yeah, and that's where that's pretty much where we met. And then we did things, gigs where we worked together and stuff, and we always kind of piggybacked off of each other for certain things. But then you took it to a whole other level. What was your first gig that you got that was like, okay, I'm touring and I'm doing some next level shit?
It started right out of high school. I got a call to go out with Jessica Simpson. I was going to MI. It's like a music institute.
Yeah.
I just got in, and then I got a call to go out with Jessica, and I was just like, okay, quitting school. I'm going to tour. And dude, literally from there, it never stopped.
Really?
Is tour after tour after tour. And whenever I was home, I played with DW3 all the time. And and it took off there. I actually really wanted to be a producer when I was young. Mm-hmm. That was like what I really wanted to do. But once they offered me like the tour, and they're like, we'll pay you this much to tour. And I was 18 as a kid, you're just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, after that, I started landing gigs. Like they started calling me to direct artists, to be the musical director, and that started with Backstreet Boys, and then led to artists like Kelly Rowland and Luke James and Jennifer Lopez and Tori Kelly, and Seal and tons of other artists, and just super grateful for it, man. It was a great time. It's a great ride. Now I'm producing. Now I stopped touring. I'm still doing, I do arrangements for artists for their tours and stuff, but I'm not going on the tour. Now I stay home, and I'm currently producing a show on Fox called The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
So
my wife loves that show.
Yeah.
Like every time I come home and she's watching, she's like, do you know who that is? I think I know who that is.
It's a good show.
I think it was the Daughtry guy from a couple years ago. She was like, I know that guy's voice.
Yeah. So it's a cool show. It's a cool show to be a part of. Definitely thankful, and just working on a couple other things. Like tomorrow I start working on the Latin Grammys. So just arrangements for the performances and stuff like that. And selling tacos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's definitely where
which is the highlight of my career.
Right now, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's move to Mr. Joe Mendez, who I think I've known you the longest.
25 years?
Yeah, dude. I met you when you were
15
years old. You were playing with Flirt. And I used to play in Flirt at that time, and I had moved on to a band called Substance A. And then you were playing at the first time I met you. I think you were playing at Friar Tuck's in Pomona.
I showed up in a 3-piece suit.
Yeah, that was good times, man. But so Joe, we go way back, and we've got a lot of crazy stories. Most of them we can't tell on the air, but let's tell a few. Let's give people some backstory on just where Joe Mendez came from.
Man, I grew up in Pasadena, California. My dad is a musician. He plays guitar for many, many years. So growing up in the house, him and my mom were nothing but norteñas and románticos. Just Spanish music throughout the years growing up. I started playing drums when I was 3. I started playing in my dad's band when I was 5 years old. Didn't really take it serious. I wasn't really pushed onto the music. And then I fell in love with it really when I turned like 15. And I got my permit, got my license. I went out and found a band, and it was Flirt. And that's when I really started playing drums basically at the age of 16. I could always mess around with a kid, but never took it serious, never took any lessons. And then from there, I just never stopped playing.
Well,
know?
so jumping from when I met you, it was you were 15 or 16 or something like that at the gig, and then moving from there. How did you? Because you've done an awful lot of stuff with music as well. I feel like I'm the one that got left behind, kind of doing my thing. No, I'm just kidding. But I've seen you. You've gone on some tours. You've done a lot of things percussion wise. You've done a lot of things directing wise. So
Well, I owe a lot of it to Bryant right here.
yeah.
Because, me and Bryant have known each other for
Very long time.
about the same amount of years.
Yeah, just
20,
about,
23
We were
years.
kids touring Europe.
Oh, yeah. We were 18. Well, I was 18. Well, so was Bryant. Let's say that.
Yeah, let's say that.
Man, so they took me on my DW3 took me on my first tour when I was 18. I had no idea what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'll take my drums, which was like the worst idea ever to go through Europe. Man, but it was great. And after that, man, it just took off, and I've been doing music ever since. We've never stopped. So, man, life has been good.
Yeah. Well, so that's basically a little bit of backstory from you guys. Now, here's what I think is interesting: the fact that you guys are all musicians, you guys are all super successful in what you guys do. Let me take this down. Here's the crazy thing: if anybody's watching this at home, I'm. It's like an octopus. I got to do a lot of stuff right here. I'm trying to stay engaged. I'm trying to have a great conversation, but at the same time, I'm reading your comments and I'm trying to look at the camera and do all this stuff and trying to manage what's happening. There's a lot going on up here, but it definitely is a lot of fun. Let me take a quick pause. Can you guys hear me out there? Yeah? Okay. It can go a little bit louder. All right. Let me see if I can take it up a bit. So everybody.
I see Billy in the comments.
Yeah, Billy
Mancha.
right there. Hey man. Hey man.
Hey, Billy's over there pulling major moves.
Put some shellac on it.
DW3 brothers. This is good. It's nice to have some interaction and some comments up here.
Oh, look at my mom. My mom's right there. Look at that.
Billy, hey.
And the boys.
Hey, what's
Hi,
up,
Irene.
Mom?
That's
Oh, I miss you.
That's awesome. This is and to be honest with you guys, this is kind of one of the main reasons why I started this podcast, and that's why it's kind of unilateral with what you guys have been doing with Tacos UK, which I want to get into next, because when a little over a year ago, when all four of us here are professional musicians, and a little over a year ago, our stage got pulled out from underneath us, and all of us were kind of left with, what are we going to do? How are we moving forward? Is this going to be 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months? Who knows? So let me jump into one of the banners here. I wanted to jump into our next segment, which I'm going to put this up real quick and just make you guys laugh. Tacos por qué? So why tacos? Like that was the don't worry, I'm going to switch it right now, because that's not the name of it. It's actually Tacos Ike. But my first question is let me talk to Joe first on this one. So how did you guys get together on this? I know you guys are all friends, but how did you guys formulate and decide that we're going to move forward with the taco business?
Well, before the taco business, we during the pandemic, we got to spend a lot of time with each other because we weren't busy, So we were having Taco Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays or Fridays at anybody at Bryant's house or just Fabian's house, my house, and we were getting together. So we just started cooking a lot. So that led up to one night just having a good time. The three of us around the table and just discussing food, and then talking about opening up a restaurant. And it's like, well, this is the beginning.
Do any of you guys remember like the moment when you're like, you know what? Like you guys are sitting in a hot tub and all of a sudden you're like, you know what we're going to do tomorrow?
That's exactly how it happened.
That's exactly how it happened.
That's exactly how it happened. Because they were talking about food, and these guys are amazing cooks.
Okay.
Amazing cooks.
Okay, who's the number one chef in the out of the three of you guys?
I think
No comment. I'm just kidding.
both of us, Fabian and I, we do the cooking. I've always cooked. It's been a honestly, since I was a kid, as long as I've been playing music, I've been into cooking,
Okay.
So it's always been a passion of mine. It's something that I wanted to pursue, but it's such a crazy business, right? It's like, why do that when music is great to you?
Right? Yeah.
So it's like, nah, I'll just do music. But yeah, and Fabian is a great cook. And I didn't know that ahead of time. Like we met and we were just talking about the passion of cooking, Joe and I were hanging out. He would come. I remember Joe came to the house, and he brought lobsters and shrimp, and I just like grabbed him and I just started making stuff. And he's like, "Bro, how did you just make that?" I was like flambeing it with tequila
in 15 minutes.
yeah.
I was like,
What?
whoa,
We were like tearing it up, and one day we were, like he said, we were barbecuing at his house, and we started talking about food. And then Fabian was like, "Dude, I'm just as passionate about food.
Uh-huh.
At just the way you're talking about food, I feel the same way." And it was really Joe that pushed the whole thing. He was like, "Okay, so like, are we going to do this or what?"
Nice.
Like typical Joe.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like
Typical
typical
Joe.
All right,
Joe.
that's enough
Like,
talking.
all right,
Let's
hey.
do it.
Yeah,
That's
like,
enough
are
talk.
we going to talk about it or are we going to do this? And we're like, well, what are we going to do? And I was expressing to them how like I always wanted to open a restaurant. And literally, I would tell my wife, like, sometimes I feel like I'm missing my calling. Although it's like I've been successful in music, it's just like I really feel like I have something in the
Something
cooking.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, but like, it's too crazy. And Joe was like, "Dude, are we going to talk about this or are we going to do
Yeah.
it?" And I was like, "Well, let's meet at my house." And the next morning, Fabian called me, and Fabian and I were acquainted, but we weren't like, close either. Like we're bros, but it's like we're getting to know each other. And he called me. He's like, "Look at bro, the way you were speaking about food, like I'm serious, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm into it like that. If you want to do something and Joe's down, like let's do it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, fuck, like let's do it."
Nice.
Sorry, I don't know if I can say
No.
that.
Hey, we're
I
on
was like-
YouTube and Facebook, bro.
I was like, "Let's do it."
It's explicit.
I was like, let's do it. We got to the house. We started cooking.
And Fabian, and you've been cooking your whole life as well.
Yeah, I mean, not as much. I guess I wasn't passionate about it younger, but I definitely found that passion later in life. And then, yeah, I mean, I went like, way overboard into looking at all the 3 Michelin restaurants and doing all the like, gastronomy, like the way fancy stuff. But this was something for me because, I mean, I had no training either. And like before our little meeting that one day, or just before the little hangout that one day, I had been wanting to like do a sax and make dinner for you for like a couple, do a wine pairing and then like have play a little sax, make a little romantic thing. But this is a much better, I think
idea.
avenue.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make you dinner. Then I'm going to change. I'm going to come back and play saxophone.
That's
Then I'm
right.
going to change like that. That's awesome.
I was trying to think outside the box, because it's like,
Yeah.
again, that was one of those things where it's like, we got nothing to do.
Yeah.
What do I know how to do? I know how to play music. I know how to cook.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, but I love that. That's literally how this business came. That's literally how this podcast happened. It was
Yeah.
about thinking outside the box.
Maneuvering a little
Yeah,
bit different than we're used to.
I love the idea of, maybe about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago, because when the shutdowns first started happening, I think a lot of us musicians were expecting it to come back sooner than we thought. We're like, no, it's going to come back. No, it's going to happen. So, but maybe about a month or two into it, I kind of feel like everybody, the main words that I think that we can use is like pivot, refocus.
Mhm.
Those are some big things that happen in all of our lives.
Yeah.
And that's incredible that you guys got together and made this happen. So from when you guys came up with the idea, like, hey, we're going to do this. So I'm assuming Joe was the driving force
For
behind
sure.
making the
100%.
business happen.
Yeah.
And you guys are obviously passionate about cooking.
Creative in the cooking sense.
And
yeah.
if he jumps forward, so as soon as he gets on your lights a fire under your ass, like, okay, we're going to do this. How did you guys put the business plan together? And what's, how long did it take to get you guys up and running to your first?
Wait a minute, this is a business?
Yeah, right?
It was basically 2 weeks.
Really?
2 weeks. And then the following week, we tried some meat and different hot sauces. And we had some family over at my house. And we basically just had what do you call that? Just an audition
Cook
for
yeah, like just
cook
testing.
and-
Goodness, how-
Test-
testing, what
food
hot sauce
testing.
we were going to use. And we ended up picking his wife's hot sauce, which is amazing. What you taste on the tacos outside
it's
right
fire.
delicious.
Nice.
now. So, and then a week after that, we created an event, which is also at my house. And we expected about I don't know, 35 people, guys.
Just a couple homies.
Yeah, we ended up having like 200 people at my house in the front and the back.
It was
What
crazy.
the-
Severely understaffed.
Yeah, it was the three of us thinking we were gonna do this on our
Oh
own.
yeah,
we're
I
like,
wanted
we
to.
can-
I wanted
we
to
can
ask
do
you about
this.
that first. I wanted to ask, like, at the very beginning, did you have anybody else helping you? Was it just
No,
the
it was
three
just
of you?
three.
Yeah, we literally talked about it at Joe's house. He said, "Are we going to do this?" Went to my house, test kitchen, like we started cooking. Fabian's like, "I think I want to make a chicken tinga," and he did it, and it was fire. Then we came up with the toppings for it, and then we came up with the Korean bulgogi, and we're like, "We're going to do asada," and I was like, "Man, and we got to do them on flour tortillas,
Mhm.
and burnt cheese on the tortilla, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?"
yeah.
So we just tested it out, and that day, I think we created the first menu, which was just 3 tacos. It was a Korean bulgogi, an asada, and a chicken tinga, and we called it the tour.
The tour.
Or the tour. Actually, we didn't name it that. Actually, Fabian's girlfriend named it that at our first pop up.
Was it at the first pop-up?
Yeah, at first or second, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like Joe said, the week later, we're buying taco planchas and stuff like that. We're like, what?
We had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, we
No,
had no
I-
idea.
Just what we were looking for. And
Then
like,
we
it
did-
looks great.
Yeah,
Okay,
we did
cool, let's get it.
the little family thing,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "You guys need to do this."
And then at the very beginning, after you start, things start picking up. Now, obviously, when things start picking up, especially after that first one, you've got a bunch of people showing up, and you're like, okay, we've got something here.
Mhm.
Let's move forward on this. How did you guys get staffed? Like, did you like
Family
staffing?
and friends.
It was
this
actually
is-
that
this is
day, our
basically
first-
a family affair right here.
Our first pop-up. Thank God we had all our friends there supporting us.
Yeah.
And without them, I don't think that night would have been successful because people would have waited at least 4 hours for their food.
Oh my god.
They were waiting too.
You know,
Yeah.
and man,
It was the best.
we had a bunch of family just helping us out. We had my mom going back and forth to the store because we were thinking like 3-4 bags of cheese. We ran out of that in
Oh my lord.
2 hours, 3
yeah.
hours. We didn't buy enough meat. We didn't have
Ran
enough
out of
anything. We
tortillas.
thought it was going to be easy. There was no.
We're like, yeah, it's funny because we were like, we got this. Us three, we got this.
And
Dude,
this was back like
This-
summertime.
June 19th.
Oh, June.
So we haven't even completed a year yet. But it was June 19th, man, and the turnout was crazy. We had we had our good friend Andy Vargas DJing that day. I looked back at my backyard. There was like 100 people in the backyard, 100 people in the front yard, motorcycles. We had our crew.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ruben and Yvette came out with all their crew on their motorcycles, and they were just partying up in the front yard. All my neighbors came out, and they're like, "These tacos, you got to keep doing this." And I was like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool." You know,
That's incredible. So we have one question that's coming up right now, and this is from my good friend Alex, who always chimes in, and he says, "If you were to make a taco in Whit's honor, what would it be called, and what would be the ingredients?" I think that's a
Fabian, go for it.
Glazed pork belly.
all right.
Sounds delicious.
I'm down with that. Absolutely.
Some kind of sauce with beer in it,
We gotta
right?
have
Yeah, yeah.
Some kind of sauce with beer.
Yeah,
In it.
has to be some beer sauce, and definitely we have to make it look like some. Maybe if we brand the taco with like a
A beard.
beard or something, get the cheese on the outside so it
Right.
looks
Shredded.
looks shredded. Yeah, shredded cheese.
Or you could just get a big piece of beef and just put your logo just right on it.
Speaking
Sear it.
of
Sear it.
logos,
That's actually
we're
pretty
going to
cool.
take a quick little pause. If you can bring the camera over here. This right here, you can't see it, but I'm going to throw this up here. Got my logo branded in here on a piece of tree. And also, just to let you guys know, the owner here, his name is Randy, one of the owners, really good friend of mine, and he has been a driving force behind making this whole thing happen. He's just been awesome. And we knew we were doing a live podcast in front of people, and there's no security. So I brought my own security right here. This is a replica of the axe. The original axe that was in the TV show The Vikings.
Nice.
So the crazy thing is that Randy and one of his good friends, Jim, they get together and they have like a machine where they burn. What is it called? Burn
Brand?
Yeah, like it's like a burn brand. And so that's what they did with this. They burned my logo into
Nice.
a piece
Cool,
of
man.
wood,
Super cool, man.
which is
Super
pretty
sick.
dope. And they put together. They made this whole. They made this this axe, and there's all. If you can't really see it too close, but there's a lot of branding on this as well. And And so, shout out to Decades Bar and Grill and to Randy,
Yeah.
for letting me, and letting us come in here and do this
it's super cool.
on this Tuesday night. So, so to switch paces real quick, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah. So after that, June 19th, you guys get together, you start making the tacos, you realize you got something incredible. Moving forward from that, what has been and I'm sure that there's been a lot of obstacles, but what do you feel has been like the biggest obstacle that to date that you have like, okay, this is something huge and we got to get past this, what is something, and I'll start with you, Joe. What do you
Getting the food out fast.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was kind of an obstacle because we had so many orders coming in, and
Okay.
I think that was one of the biggest for me, in my opinion, because we don't. When you go somewhere, you don't want to wait 45 minutes for your food.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we had to get together and really, we were like like McDonald's, the founder, like on a basketball court, and trying to figure it out. Like, how are we going to set this up so we can get the food out within at least 10 minutes? Within with the line that's you were already waiting 45 minutes in. To get that food out and you enjoy it and to be able to come back and get the food out and get it fast. I think that was one of the biggest obstacles in the beginning when we started.
And moving forward from that and overcoming that obstacle, was it more of a staffing problem or was it more of a learning curve?
Both. I think it was both staff and a learning curve because we jumped into something that we've never done before.
Yeah.
It was exciting. It was, trying to figure out something we've never done. Now we
Is
have
that
it
something that you guys still kind of?
every day.
Yeah.
Every day there's something like, okay, let's try it this time, and then we go back, and every day we're learning something new.
Yeah.
Every single day, not even just here live at the pop up. It's office work or learning new things about food and just the business aspect.
Well, that's one thing I was going to ask as well. Is that like, so Fabian, so you guys have both got together, and you guys are more of the, you guys did some things where you got together and you tried out different ingredients and different tacos and stuff. And we'll touch on your social media in a little bit because I think that's fantastic. But do you guys still to this day have moments where you guys get together, maybe at somebody's house, try some new stuff, try, just like testing everything out? Is that more at your house, more?
It's more at Brian.
Yeah, kind of Bryant's house.
Yeah. So we try to get together like at least once a month.
Yeah.
To come up with a future taco that we're thinking about for like the season.
Yeah.
Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever's coming up.
Oh, also, real quick, my wife chimed in. My beautiful, amazing, incredible wife,
Hi, Marlene.
who is at home, and she says you guys killed it with the vegan tacos. Thank you for having something for everybody's taste, and I think that's pretty incredible. And
she's picky, right? I know. Yeah. I'm going to say that out loud.
I'm not, because I got to go home to her. So I'm not. I'm not
but I was really, I'm so happy that she really enjoyed those tacos.
She, the first time I actually came down here, I grabbed a few tacos and I brought them home to her, and she was like, "Wow!" And then we came back the next week, and she had some like fresh, and she was blown away by your vegan tacos. On top of that,
thank you, Marlene.
On top of that, you guys also have some keto stuff, and you have some. So, Bryant, what as far as the recipe goes right now? Yeah, I know you guys have a lot of different options, but give us a little bit of what the menu kind of is right now.
So right now we offer the original three, which was the tour, right? The asada, the chicken tinga, and the Korean bulgogi. And from there, we added the vegan. Well, actually, we added one called the steak picado, which just came out of nowhere. We got grilled onions and threw the asada in it, and then used our salsa, threw it on the plancha, and mixed it all together. And it's fantastic. It's like really, I think right now it's like the number one right now. Like people are really into it. And
this is called the
steak picado.
Steak picado.
And it came out of nowhere, and we started doing that. And we're like, let's just try it. And if people dig it, we'll keep it around. And just every week, it's like more and more orders of steak picado.
Really?
And then we got the whole vegan thing, right? People were like, a friend of mine and Fabian, of all of ours, Oscar Cartaya, he would be like, "Oh, I wish I'd go eat your tacos if you had vegan options." And a lot of people would say that. Yeah. And we're like, okay, you know what? Like, it's so hard, right, to do a vegan one. We're like, what are we going to do? And it's like, well, we went to the house, to the test kitchen.
Yeah, I love it.
And there's like videos of it on our IG.
Yeah.
And we just started developing. I was like, man, what if we did like find a good soy chorizo, which is hard to find, and we found one. And then I was just like, we were like, what if we put potatoes, like diced up potatoes in there? Who doesn't like potatoes?
Yeah.
And we dress it like our asada, which we put onions and cilantro, guacamole, salsa, and pickled onions.
Yeah.
And it's fire. And it's on a blue corn tortilla that's, organic. And it's really difficult to make. We get it made at La Princesita in LA. They make all our tortillas for us.
Okay.
Shout out to La Princesita.
Yeah.
Man, they're amazing. And they really go above and beyond on the
That's awesome.
on the tacos. They made sure it was vegan. They made sure it was GMO free and all that stuff.
Oh, that's so cool. Man.
So, because if we're gonna say vegan, like if we're gonna do it, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. And it's been great. It works. And then we started doing the keto options, right? Like
yes.
The keto tacos and the keto burritos, which kind of just a buddy of mine came to a pop up that we did at Fabian's house, and I seen him out like from afar. He was eating the taco just with a fork and not eating the tortilla. And I was dude, the heck, like the tortilla is fire. Like that's, and he's like, oh, I'm doing keto.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me just try this. And I just threw a bunch of cheese.
A lot of cheese
on the griddle. And I let it get real toasty on the bottom. And then I put the meat in the middle and I flipped it over. I like a burrito. And I gave it to him and he was like, bro, like this is crazy. And we kept it and we called it the keto burrito.
Well, I love it. I've been at the I've come out. I've tried, I think, almost all of the tacos. And the one time that I came out, my favorite was the Korean barbecue.
The Korean bulgogi.
Oh my God, that's amazing! That taco, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here, you need to go out and get one right now. I think Zach. Actually, I gotta send. Oh my God,
Zach had 4.
I need to send out a shout out
plus a tour.
Nice.
to my good friend Zach,
tacos.
who Wiggles. Zach, I love you, man. I reached out to him at the last minute. He is the reason why we have different camera angles and we're doing some production on this.
Shout out to Zach.
What up, Zach?
It, man.
Thank you, Zach.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to this after the fact, or if you're if you get a chance, go to the 5footviking.com. Click on the Facebook or the YouTube. Watch this podcast, even if you can watch a little bit of it. I am blown away by the transitions, the camera angles, maybe
He's
the
the man.
content. I'm doing the best that I can, but at least the cameras are great. So thank you, Zach. I really appreciate you being here and helping me get outside the box and try something new. So it's kind of cool. So I know you guys got to get back out there. I've kept you guys a little bit longer than usual. We've got a few minutes left. We've been live for now about 40 minutes. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Normally I do my podcast for about an hour, sometimes an hour and 15, sometimes an hour and 30. Just depends on the on what we're talking about and how much time we have. But these gentlemen are literally working the line out front. Hey, Zach, any chance we can turn the camera on? Can we show the venue right now? I want to show everybody at home that we are here at Decades, outside on the patio. Tacos DK has a pop-up right now that you can literally come down and get some tacos. You guys are here until 10 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken.
10 o'clock. Around
10 o'clock,
yeah.
So come on down if you're local. Come down. We've got some friends and family who are coming down and listening and watching, and we've got we've got the podcast up on all the TVs, and we've got all this stuff going on, which is really cool. I'm like I said, this is definitely something new to me, which is
Super cool, man.
It's fun.
It's awesome, man. You're
And
doing a
and
killer
so,
job.
ladies and gentlemen, they are taking time away from the line. And I know you guys have some family that are out there that are working really hard to get the tacos out right now. And I just want to say thank you to your family.
That's another
Thank you,
big shout
family.
out. We got to thank our wives,
Our amazing team.
our amazing team, Edward, Cynthia, Aurora, Cindy, Angel, Thea. We got so many people helping us.
Right?
Man, they're so amazing.
That's
They're just
And
honestly,
thank you
without
guys.
them, it wouldn't be possible. They help us out so much.
100%.
Yeah, we thank them daily.
Yep.
You know,
And
because we thought we were just three guys. We're like, we're gonna do this.
We're gonna kill it.
There's no way.
Physically impossible.
There's no way.
Not when you have 200 people
Yeah.
online.
Oh,
But you know,
man, I can't-
another thing we got together as boys, the three of us. But you know what? The best thing is all of our wives didn't even ask us. They just followed
in.
us and jumped in, and just how can I explain it? Just saw the dream, and it's
Yeah,
like
they
this is
saw
what
the
you guys
vision.
want. We're gonna follow you and help you and it's growing to what it is today.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like we still can't imagine that. Even like right now we're in the run for LA's best taco.
Yeah,
place.
we're in the run for
Yeah.
LA's best,
So-
number one taco in all of LA.
Before we get to that, because I do want to get to that real
Yeah.
quick. I know I might hold you a little bit over. I hope it's
That's okay.
But this last topic that I did want to talk about, which I think is really important, because with 2021 opening up, how challenging do you guys feel that it will be to juggle the success of Taco ZK, also with with things opening up, we're going to get some music back.
Yeah.
And Taco ZK has grown exponentially
Yeah.
in the last few months.
Mhm.
With the LA Tacos, what is it called? One more time.
LA Taco Madness.
LA Taco Madness. And if I'm not mistaken, you can go to LA Taco Madness on Instagram, or you can go to your Instagram.
You can go to our Instagram,
It's
and
on
the
the
link is
bio.
in our bio. You can click it and vote for Taco Sique
Yeah.
for the number one taco
Yes.
in LA for
Yes.
2021.
Come
which
on.
is like, for
That's
us, we're
massive.
just honored. Honestly, it's like an
We're
honor.
going up.
We've made it to the third round.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, and you guys have been in business since June.
9 months. Yeah,
And these are like taco places that are
they're all like
super-
brick and mortar. and-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Well-known taco places.
well known.
So moving forward with things opening up, do you guys feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult to juggle?
You want me to?
I'm opening it up. Yeah.
I think it will be a little bit, because obviously we do music, but I think there
you
will be.
almost didn't make the podcast tonight.
I
You were
know.
gone. You were doing something.
And but yeah, I mean, just like tonight, I mean, it'll be a lot of give and sacrifice, people covering and all that.
Yeah.
I think we're very understanding of each other's schedules and what we
Absolutely.
need to do, and if we we just make it happen. So
Yeah, I think definitely too. Moving time management is like probably the biggest asset that you guys can involve with what you're doing, because you're going to be doing more gigs, you're going to be doing more shows, you're going to be directing more stuff, and from the looks of things, it looks like you're going to have a lot more taco gigs as well, because you guys are amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible how many calls and emails that we're getting that they want us at their event, and we're like, whoa, okay, how are we going to do this? And it's for 450 people, 500 people, 600 people.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've ever served that many people. So now we're, grinding and figure that out. And then, that everything that's opening up and people still choose to come to Taco Zika when there's so many choices now. That's really special to us as well.
We have my good friend Neff, who is actually here in the audience, and she is logged on and she's commenting. Neff, are you here? Are you here? There she is. She's right there, and she literally commented right now, and she said the food is amazing.
Oh, well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having it. Thank you for trying it.
Yeah.
I like this. Here's my dad up in Utah.
What's
is
up, Dad?
commenting. Dad, good to see you here. Imagine,
Los
if you will,
Nietos.
a kid from Los Nietos. Did I
Yeah,
pronounce that
Los Nietos.
correctly?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
We know that area
That's correct.
very well.
Very well.
That's my pops, I think. Retired in southern Utah, where they think Del Taco's tacos are great. When I come down, this place is a date. Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, my pops grew up in Pico Rivera and went to Pioneer High School. And
Nice. Gangster.
and, yeah, dad's gangster, and
Cool.
he's up in southern Utah in St. George, drinking his vitamin water right now. Dad,
Great.
I appreciate you always supporting the 5 Foot Viking, aka your son.
Nice.
So that's pretty awesome. And we also have Carolyn. Carolyn is also here in the audience.
Tacos are bomb.
Thank
The tacos are bomb. Yes. Appreciate you guys being here. Seriously, it's this is
It's actually
This is really cool.
This is really cool, man.
I'm having a good time, and
This
thank you guys
couch
for-
is
Definitely.
super comfortable, by the way. I don't know where you got it, but I'm
trying
going
not
to
to
take it
yawn.
home.
I'm trying not to yawn.
We're going to take it home.
You don't want to ask us any more questions, so we could just,
Yeah,
sit
we
here
just
for another 2
go to
hours.
sleep real quick and hang out. So last thing that I wanted to talk about, I don't have a banner for it, so let me get rid of this one. But I did want to jump into your social media is like next to nothing. So like incredible, like, or did I say that correctly? Not next to nothing, next to, or you know the term that I'm saying. Basically, nobody can touch your social media.
Yeah.
You guys are on fucking point. Your Instagram.
Shout out to Omar.
Omar. Where's Omar?
Yeah, Omar
Where's
is
Omar?
our-
Omar,
Is Omar here?
if you hear us, come over.
Omar Reina.
Omar is the one
Omar.
that handles all the Instagram.
Omar is a friend of all of ours, and it's been a buddy of mine for a long time.
But if he doesn't put on his tacos a hat, he
Tacos
can't come
a
up.
hat.
He can't. Yeah, he can't come up there.
No, Omar is. I met Omar at a place. Remember Banana Bay. I think we've all been to Banana Bay.
Yes, we've all been to.
I
Banana
walked
Bay.
into
and
Banana
don't
Bay.
remember leaving.
And Omar is also sit right here, bro. An incredible
Come on, jump on in. Jump on in. It's okay. It's okay.
Sit
Jump
down.
in. We're all
Om-
family. We're
Omar
all family.
is also an incredible musician. I walked into Banana Bay. I saw this guy playing keys, and I was like, "Who the heck is this guy?"
Really?
And I went home, grabbed my bass, came back, and was like,
Wait, at Banana Bay?
"Yeah," because he was playing key bass and like all the parts.
Is this back when we used to go to the other place, right? No Daji?
No Dachi.
No,
Dachi.
no,
4
Daji?
a.m.
At 4 a.m. We'd drink.
Yeah.
We'd drink it.
Yeah.
We'd be eating
That was the
yaki.
after
We used to
party.
call the place Yaki Udon because that's all
Yeah,
we got.
Yaki Udon. That's so I saw him playing there, and I was like, "Dude, this guy's a beast." I went home, grabbed my bass, I played with him. The next day, I was at Westlake recording a record, producing an album for a gospel artist named Israel Houghton.
Okay.
And I called Omar. I met him the day before, and Omar's like, "We need a string arrangement." And I was like, "I have the guy." I didn't even know if I just knew how he was playing. I knew he can do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
And I hired him, and then we've been buddies ever since. But Omar, besides being a monster musician, is an incredibly talented guy.
Yeah.
Super creative, and he helped me out with my last EP, with the videos and stuff, and the cover and all the ideas, everything. Like, I would give him my ideas, and he'd be like, "Yeah, bro, yeah," and then he would like do something completely different, and you'd be like, "Holy crap!"
Really?
Yeah, like unbelievable. So when we did this, we're like, we got to get an IG.
Okay.
And I was like, we'll run it. And I was like, dude, let me call my buddy Omar. See, like he's doing stuff now. Like,
Dude,
Well,
what,
you
I
know
was like,
what,
what he can
actually,
do
let
with
me-
that,
let-
with
what he can do with that phone
is
Instagram.
crazy.
Instagram.
And then I can't even take a picture.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it comes out blurry. This guy looks like he has a 4G
he makes
camera.
us look cute.
Now
Yeah.
I don't
What?
have a. I know we don't have headphones, but if you can grab the mic real quick, I do want to ask you a question.
What's that?
I
What's that?
I-
Yes, question.
I know you don't have headphones,
Oh,
but,
it's all good.
but I want to ask you real quick, because I've been following you guys ever since you guys started, and I've been watching your guys' the Instagram and the stories and so do you do most of the promo stuff on the computer and then transfer it to IG? Do you do do you use a platform like Final Cut or something like that? Because the stuff that you do is amazing, bro.
Bro, we call it guerrilla marketing.
Yes.
Bro, no, it's just iPhone. That's it. I just
Are
use an
you kidding
iPhone.
me? Are you fucking kidding?
Like we
Yeah,
said,
it's
man,
just an
he's
He's a
iPhone.
beast, bro.
And
He has
some
the eye
apps
of the tiger.
and just goof around and experiment and have fun.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have my friend Valerie right now. We're both kind of
Hi, Val.
training together, and
Yeah.
so yeah, man, we just
Honestly,
have fun with it.
Aside from us grinding and putting our heads together and
Yeah.
doing this, a huge part of Taco Sique, the success of it
Yep.
is because of Omar and his creativity. And there's no way that we could have branded it that way.
Yeah.
We don't think like that. We're
Branding
not
is
wired.
massive.
We're not wired like that,
Yeah.
and he is. And
That's-
he came up with our logo. He came up, and we were just like, "Oh, he's our social media manager." But like now, it's like, it's like branding manager
Yeah.
because he's like very careful of.
Yeah, it's really important for
How we do
for
it.
me. I guess the lens that I see the company through is our brand. It's not just the food, but the brand is
Absolutely.
it's bigger than the
it's,
food.
It's what you want. People
Yeah.
to
So
see
everything
and
that we
feel.
do, everything that we do aligns with the brand. So if you notice, all of our posts, they're colorful, they're vibrant.
Yeah.
If you notice, they hit different. That's our slogan. So like we take an approach where we're not just always showing food. We show community. We show people. We throw memes out there. It's very casual. It's not polished.
Yeah.
It's not professionally
Well,
but that's like intentional because.
Well, it looks polished from this end.
Thank
bro.
you. So it's fun. It's we're just kind of going with it and learning as we go. So yeah, man. Thank you. Thanks for having us too.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm gonna reach out to you, bro, because I'm gonna need some help with the 5 Foot Viking. I think I'm doing a decent job at branding myself, but I definitely need some help with the putting it out there on Instagram. That's for sure. So I'll
He's the
definitely
man
be
to do
reaching
it,
out
man.
to you.
Yeah, Omar's the man.
Absolutely.
We love Omar.
We got a few more people jumping in here. We've got my good friend Robert. You guys probably remember Robert Campos from back in the day. We were at Fantasy
musician,
Firehouse
right?
Grill. No. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was he was coaching football, right, Robert? Let me know if I'm completely wrong, but I think that's he says, will there be a pop-up in Whittier? I know you guys have done one, but
Yes.
is there one coming up soon?
Yeah. This Friday we're not going to be in Whittier because we have a little special celebration in East Los Angeles at La Princesita Tortilleria.
Yeah, we're in collaboration with La Princesita.
We're going to be debuting something cool too
Okay.
that day. But after that, in Whittier, we'll be there next Friday.
At the Shoe City, right there at the 5 Points across the street from the car wash.
Correct.
At 5 points in Whittier.
5 Points in Whittier, because there's also a 5 Points in East Los, but the 5 Points in Whittier.
Yeah.
In the parking lot of Shoe City.
Exactly. Shout out to Shoe City
Yes.
for showing us love and supporting us and letting us pop up at their locations.
Awesome. Well, this is kind of an interesting. I'm here doing this live, which is weird that I need to look up here instead of look over here, and we got some camera angles and we got some stuff going on, but literally had my neighbor come up and
Nice.
give me a shot because he said cheers, which actually for Vikings we say skull, so skull.
Skull.
I'm gonna whiskey. Scotch is my go-to, so here we.
Drink up. There
5
you
Foot
go.
Viking.
Cheers!
Skull, everybody. Skull.
Raise your drink.
Let's go.
Tacos y
All
quiero.
right.
On.
That's so crazy now, man. People here, we'll be driving and people are like, tacos y qué? And it's still like overwhelming to hear. Usually it's like, our band name or something. Now it's tacos y qué,
Yeah.
tacos y qué. And you were like, wow.
I love it.
I was at a Sam's Club and I was coming out and I had this sweater on, and some girl goes, "Tacos y qué?" And I turned around and I was like, she's like, "You guys are killing it. I love your food." And I was
How
like,
amazing
"Oh wow,
is that?
that's crazy, right?" It's like,
That's really cool. I mean,
I was like, "Did you know I do music?"
Yeah, no,
Oh my
everybody
God.
forgot that we do
Everybody
music.
forgot we do
crazy.
music.
Yeah,
They're
we're,
like,
we're,
It's
we're
funny
taco,
that-
we're taco guys now.
it's funny that you mentioned that because the same thing, being a musician, playing with Steel Rod, playing with the Eagles band, the Police band, and doing stuff like that. Most of the time in the past, everybody, oh, Wit, hey, Steel
Bass
Rod,
player, yeah.
the Police band, Eagles, take it to the limit. And literally, maybe a few weeks ago, somebody recognized, like I was walking over, and somebody said, the 5 Foot Viking. And I'm like, that was the coolest
It's
thing
the
I've ever heard
greatest
ever.
feeling, right?
It was so cool because, to be honest, I literally started this just as I just want to have some fun. I want to try something new. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere with this. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
I think you will.
But I'm having so much fun, and the fact that I have a network of incredible people who have been doing incredible things. I just want. I'm a fan of you guys. I'm a fan of learning what you guys are doing and how you guys are doing it. And at the same time, if I can do something like this and network with people that I know and
While you're doing it, man, and congratulations, bro.
I love you guys.
Honestly,
man.
you're doing it.
Seriously.
You're kicking ass, and I think this is just the beginning. I think you're gonna. I think we'll see a 5 Foot Viking show on
5 Foot Viking pilot
on a major network
Let's
someday.
do it with a house band.
I
with a
think
house band.
I already know who I'm getting for the house band right here. You guys are going to do
The,
the pop up, and you guys
the
are going to do
TYQ band. There you go.
Literally, I think between us three and Omar, we can do a full band. Drums, bass, keys,
Sax.
percussion, and sax.
Wow. Okay. I'm with it.
Right?
Let's do this.
Next week.
Next week.
Let's do it.
We'll do it right here. So, with that being said, I think it's about that time. So before we get going, ladies and gentlemen, who are out there in the interwebs watching and listening, first and foremost, thank you guys so much for the support for the channel, for the Foot Viking, for something new, for Taco ZK, and for Decades. Big shout out to Decades Bar and Grill. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to do this. This is really, really cool. And before we go, I just want to turn the time over to you guys. You guys can probably explain the voting process better than I. I would like you guys to talk about the voting process on that, and then please let everybody know where they can find your next couple pop-ups and what's going on in the future for Taco ZK.
Okay, they pointed at me. So right now, as we spoke about earlier, we're in a competition, a tournament for the number one taco of LA. Out of thousands of taco companies and brands, they picked 32, and we're the total underdog. We're the newest, and most of them are brick and mortars. Most of them have 30,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and we're the underdog, and they picked us to be in that tournament. So that alone for us is an honor and a privilege, and we're thankful. But we've been kicking ass too. We want to shout out to like our supporters and our fans for voting for us, and we need you guys to vote for us. Continue to vote for us.
Continue to vote. And you can vote every 24 hours.
Every 24
as well.
hours, yeah. The link is in our bio. So if you don't know how to do it, you can literally just go to our IG, which is at Tacos Ike, like this. Tacos YQUE.
It's also in the description.
It's also here in the description, and the link to vote on the contest is in our bio. Okay. So you click the link, and it takes you to the page, and you can vote. We're at the top. It's Tacos Ike. So we really need everybody to go vote, support. We're a 9-month-old company, and I think we have a great chance of winning the whole thing,
that's so cool.
Which would be huge and an honor. I mean, for us. So please support us. Go vote. We're constantly working on getting better.
Yeah.
To service you guys better. I don't know if we should say this, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah. Go for it.
As you're saying, as things are opening up, is that going to be challenging for you guys?
Yeah.
So we have a little surprise. I think we're going to be opening up our first brick and mortar.
What the shit?
I actually got the email today to sign. It's called LOI and lease, which will be at like a marketplace. It's going to be called Orchard Market in Bellflower.
Wow.
And it's also going to be, it's great because there's going to be some great brands with us. Like,
are you still going to do pop-ups as well?
Probably.
We'll take a little pause just to make sure that we get that going.
Yeah.
But then we'll be back on the pop-ups.
Yeah.
But we'll be in Bellflower 24/7.
It's along with like brands like Smoke and Fire and like legit brands and and so there's all kinds of feelings. Bro. Like we're excited, we're scared, we're happy, we're sad.
That's exactly what I put up when I promoted tonight. I was like, the first thing I said was, I am so nervous because this is probably the biggest production that I've done. And this is just me.
When you're scared and nervous, it means you're doing the right thing,
I
right?
think so too.
I always tell people like, hey man, if you're scared and you're nervous, you're probably doing the right thing.
This is so much fun being able to connect with people, my friends, especially my friends who are doing incredible things. But yeah, on a new level. I mean, most of the time I'm in my bedroom with a green screen, just chilling, looking at a thing.
Well, I think you need to do more of this because this
is
really
fun. A lot of people came out, man.
It's really cool. We got a lot of people out here, and I'm excited. I think this is something that we should do more often. So,
yeah, let's do it.
So
we're always here to support each other, man. We're here to support you.
Absolutely. And also, between the three of you as well, I know you guys have music. Please let everybody know, where can they find your music? Where can they find this is your platform. Please, one at a time. We'll start with Joe. Joe.
Hey, man, I'm going to come out with the Tacos Ike. It's going to hit number 1 single. and it's gonna drop November 15th when we open up the Bellflower spot.
Hey,
so that's the
do
only
it.
thing I'm working on right now. Is Tacos Again single,
Okay.
produced by Bryant and Fabian Chavez.
Oh yeah. All right. Brian, where can we find your work?
On all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music.
How do we find it? Is it
Siono. Siono is my artist name,
okay?
and I have an EP I put out right at the beginning of this pandemic. And I have a couple singles out, and I am working on a new EP that's almost done. It's pretty much done, actually.
Nice.
In the mixing stages, so that'll be released, and pretty pumped for it too. And it's crazy because trying to juggle the two things.
Yeah.
But trying to be creative in both areas.
Absolutely. And Fabian?
You can find. I released a single a while ago. You can find it on iTunes or Spotify. Just Fabian Chavez.
Okay. Fabian Chavez.
Yeah.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, please go to there's description down below or above, depending on the platform that you're watching on. There is the Facebook link to Tacos ZK, to their Facebook page, and also to their Instagram page. You can also go to the 5footviking.com, and you can check out all of my stuff, what I'm doing. I'm going to be coming out with some merchandise pretty soon, like more just for support the channel, because I love to do stuff like this, but it's not cheap. All the cameras and all the tech and all the everything, it does cost some money. So I'll be coming out with some merch which will literally just help promote the channel, and all of your donations and all of your purchases really, really mean a lot. So thank you guys so much in advance for all that help. And I think with that being said, I think we're good to go. I want to thank my guests from Tacos.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Whit.
Love you guys.
We call him Whit. He's got the thank you 5 foot.
5 foot
Sorry,
Viking.
5 foot Viking.
And don't forget to vote, guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't forget to vote.
And you go to Tacos Again, go to 5 Foot Viking, and follow both of us. And thank you for all your support, especially for the people here and everybody coming out. We had a lot of friends that unexpectedly came out. So now we got to get back to work, serve some tacos, and
Let's get greasy.
Let's get greasy.
Let's go.
And big shout out to Zach on the video.
Zach.
We go.
Big shout out to my friend, Mr. Edgar Hernandez, who is literally my mentor in podcasting. And also a big shout out to Decades Bar and Grill for letting us be here. Thank you guys so much. And I think this is how you end it.